Picture this. Two children sitting in a sandbox. Their mother looks on recording a video with an iPhone. One of the children is in the background of the video and calls on for their mother to come over here and play with me, while the other child sits in the center of the video asking, "Why are we eating sand?" The mother engages with the child that's not engaged with her. The energy is not reciprocated, while the other child sits in the background, her requests for her mother falling on deaf ears. This is what being a glass child looks like. The term glass child was originally coined in a 2010 TED Talk by Alicia Maples, similar to this one. The term glass refers to the feeling of being looked through, and the term glass child refers to the sibling of one with special needs. These special needs can take the form of developmental disabilities, chronic illnesses, and even addictions. My experience of being a glass child results in my little brother. I was the firstborn child growing up. I was the center of attention and the light of my parents' life. I had it all, really. When I was a year old, my mother informed me that I would soon be a big sister. As an infant, I was obviously unable to comprehend this, but I was excited nevertheless. 6 months later, my brother was born, happy and healthy. As a child, I was obviously frustrated having to share my parents with my brother, but I was still happy and joyful. Life went on as normal until my parents realized something was off. My brother wasn't developing at the rate that other children were, and he wasn't engaging with them the way I had when I was his age. When my brother was 2 years old, he was formally diagnosed with autism. Doctors told my parents that it would be years before he could read, speak, and socialize. Of course, this news was devastating to my parents, whose attention switched 180 degrees to completely on my brother. My life went from being the center of attention to having to share with my brother, to my parents completely neglecting my emotional needs in lieu of my brother. When I was 5 years old, we moved across the country for better education for my brother. I picked up my home, my life, and my friends, and dropped it. Slowly, I began to resent my brother, and then my resentment grew into despise. I hated my brother. I developed anxiety and selective mutism because of the lack of attention I received in lieu of my brother's needs. This isn't uncommon though, as glass children are statistically more prone to trauma, be people pleasers, and are more likely to develop mental illness. Although most of what I've said has been pretty negative, it hasn't always been bad. Being a glass child has taught me a level of empathy and compassion that I would not have known otherwise. Being able to spend time with my brother, playing for hours without speaking a single word, has taught me to empathize with a nonverbal child who can't communicate his feelings. And the feeling of reading to him while he flaps his hands with joy has taught me to be compassionate for those with differences. Slowly, as I got older, the playground visits and adventures became more integrated with our life, intertwined with therapy appointments and doctor's visits. You see, being a glass child is not always black or white. Sometimes it's playgrounds and doctor's appointments, therapy and adventures. Sometimes it's beautiful, sometimes it's frightening. But one thing it will always be, for me and many others, is a reality. The reality of being a glass child. Thank you.